Hey folks, welcome back to Fool's Treasury. I am your fool. So I thought I'd do a little follow-up video. It wasn't going to be a follow-up video this close to opening the channel, but I thought, why not? Because I've just been doing a bunch of sorting today. I bought some new tubs. We're going to talk about the tubs. If I'm talking about a place called Asda, and you're not from the UK, translate that in your head to be Walmart, because Asda is owned by Walmart. I'm not sure when the buyout happened, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. And don't let this order annoy you too much. I've laid it out because we're going to be looking through them in a minute, and it's hard to browse these things with one hand, so I've laid them in the order of interest, so I don't have to pick them all up. So I thought I'd explain my inner workings as to how I sort through my coins, the order of it, and maybe I don't know, maybe you see a coin that interests you along the way. So I mentioned that how I got started was ordering world coins. I also ordered a mixed bunch of British coins. If we go just over here, this is where the British coins are. Just because obtaining the range of them was a little bit easier, because it's where I'm from. They've kind of got their own little space there, but they'll be moved along to I don't know, an English box at some point. They might be put in these tubs. You want to get tubbed up? So what I do, I lay them all out, and I try and match them as best as I can. This is difficult because, like, naturally, I don't recognise coins that I'm not affiliated with, and I'm not affiliated with any of these coins apart from any that are British. And even then, I mean, there's here we got 2 shillings. It didn't even occur to me that might have been a British coin. I took one look at it and I was like, oh, the way the artwork is done on that coin, I just didn't recognise that. I didn't identify that as something British. I know it's got the Queen. That's not a very good one on the back there. Looks a bit worn down, but you know, it's got the Queen on the back. But it is it's between you and me. Between you and me, it is very common to find the Queen or former kings of England on the back of coins. So, you know, you can't just see the Queen on the back of the coin and go, "Oh, look, it's obviously English." It could still be absolutely from anywhere. We get around, which is, I gotta admit, it's a little bit unnerving. Sometimes I'm like, I pick up a coin. It's from a country that I've just never heard of before, and I look on the back and I'm like, the Queen. I'm like, what's she doing there? Like, she gets bloody everywhere, I tell you. That always, I mean, it sounds weird. That bugs me a little bit because one of the things I love about coins is it's that introduction to a completely different culture. And I realise as well, you know, the royalty is quite intrinsically linked with a lot of foreign cultures and stuff like that. It's all a lot of stuff that I don't really understand, that maybe I'll understand as time goes by. But then again, I have to be interested to understand it, you know. But as well, there's the principal offender of something like that, though, is the euro. I don't like the euro, and the thing is, I respect the existence of the euro, and I understand why someone would want to make the euro be a thing, but just like, I don't know, in terms of coins looking nice, it just doesn't really do it for me. I'm sort of like, oh, what's this? Oh, it's a euro. And I don't know if it's the euro that started the coins that look like this, the sort of double. I'm really not a fan of those coins. There's another sort of, you know what I mean, the one with the outer gold and the inner silver, or outer silver and inner gold. We have them here for our pound coins and our £2 coins. I don't like them either. I've no idea why I don't like them. I think it's. I first saw it with the euro, but I don't know if the euro was the first one to do it. But yes, so I'll lay out all my coins and I'll try and match them up. And it is like one of those old card games where you got to, like, you know, turn 2 cards over and see if you remember them. And even still to this point, I'll suddenly go, oh, that coin looks like that coin. And of course, it can get even further confused because designs of the same coin get changed over time. As, like, you know, you're familiar with the currencies of your own country, you're used to that happening. And it happens across the world. And so it's not entirely perfect. See, we've still got a couple piled up here. And for the sake of nothing tipping over, I tend to sort the tallest stacks first. That's why, if you remember how this looked a few days ago, there were some very tall stacks, and they've all been sorted and gone to where they're supposed to go. Just because when it's all piled up here, this table, I work at this table, I've got my computer over here, and I've got my coins here, so one kick of the table, if I, you know, accidentally bump the table or something like that, and a stack of coins will come falling down. But once they're all sorted, they then get bagged up, and I've got these happy little bags here. And I'll bag them up individually and write a label for them. What I tend to do for the label is, if we look here, we've got UK 2 shillings Elizabeth II. So that's the issuer, the type of coin it is, and the period. But the period is more of a rough estimate because, I mean, sometimes you've got a coin that stretches across 2 different time periods. And sometimes that's not too much of a problem. Like, I think to myself, the end goal for these coins is to go into an album. So I'm not too bothered if I've mislabeled that because there's a bunch of different time period coins in there if it's the same coin. Because often you find that, you know, say one ruler ended in 1912 and then the next ruler took over in 1913, and so the design of the coin changes from 1913 onwards. That's when I don't mind, because chronologically it'll all fit together in the album. But I've tried to be specific, but sometimes I'm just doing roundabout. And no offense to some of the countries of the world, but some of your world leaders have extremely long names. And so sometimes I just can't be bothered. Or I write it in a very abbreviated manner, which might be construed as offensive. You know, kind of like if somebody was doing this in some other country and they thought Elizabeth was a bit of a mouthful, and so they just put Liz. You know, Liz number 2. I wouldn't be offended. In fact, I'm thinking about doing that myself right now. From here on, Liz 1, Liz 2. Oh, don't forget Vicky. Can't really shorten George, can you? G. King G. G King. So, once they're all bagged up, they then go into here. And to we'll go over here. Open this. Yeah. And see here we have don't you blunk at me, stupid computer. Here we have, why does we have this in the middle of nowhere? In the Z section. See, I gotta admit, I know I've been ill, but I am a bit worried that I'm going mad. I found Philippines in like the O section or something really weird like that, and so I had to move it back to the P section. I'm like, why did you do that? That's Tunisia. Tunisia belongs with the rest of Tunisia. They all kind of have to bunch up a little bit. We've got Tunisia. They have to bunch up because we do have to be courteous for potentially for other countries. Unlike, I don't actually think we're going there today, but Spain ate half of these boxes, and we had to do some crowd control. Got Thailand there. I mentioned I had 3 US coins, but I lied, apparently. Mere moments before hitting record, I spotted a second dime around here, and it was a Roosevelt dime, so I didn't have to label a new bag. I just popped it with the other one, and I'm thankful that they are both different dates, because that's always, if I have a second coin of a coin that I don't have many of, then I will always be concerned about the dates, because I want a coin from every year. I believe I can't see it from here, but I know that one is 2005 and the other is 2010. So that's good, which means I just need to get all the rest. And I believe I've shown the other United States coins. That is the Buffalo nickel. That's a great coin. The only problem is, I've mentioned this before, it's quite damaged and worn, which is typical for the Buffalo nickel, apparently. And the date has been rubbed off, which is also typical. So, Lord knows how I'm going to work that one out. And this, I made a short about it the other day. Absolute bloody tragedy, this one. It's a 3-cent coin. From, I believe this is actually, if it's not the oldest coin in my collection, it is a contender for it. It's from 1851. It's funny, it's 1851, but as you can see, some bastard has drilled a hole through it. They've actually drilled a hole through the 18, but thankfully they just missed the 51, so we can accurately pinpoint when this coin was made, knowing that it was made during that time period. But that's a shame. But a lot of the coins that have had holes drilled through them, I just sort of go, oh, I put them on the dead pile, which is over there. But I couldn't do it for this one. I thought, well, you've had a hole drilled through you, but it is a rare coin, and so I'm going to keep him. So when it's all overloaded and things get too fat, things get too real, and there's too much of one coin in there, that's when the tubs come into it. Now, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to swap these around so I can show you a more full one of these. See, the T to Z one is strikingly more empty. This is a stuffed like a Thanksgiving turkey. This is the and S, and it is all Spain's fault. All Spain's fault. Sorry, Spain. It's not your fault. I believe it's just a. It's like France is another problem. Talking about them like they're difficult patrons or something. That France. It's if you look at that, you can see all of that's France. All that was taking up all of that space. But I believe it's just because my country is close to these countries, which means probably when I'm ordering world coins, I might start going to international sellers, just because these world coins were sent to me from English sellers, sellers from the UK, so they're going to have more coins that are common in terms of where people travel in the UK. We're going to have more of those coins. So if I ordered a mixed set of coins from the US, for example, There's probably going to be more Canadian in there. There's probably going to be more South American in there. And both of which, actually, just those two off the top of my head, I don't have many of. I think there's 2 Canadian cent coins somewhere in this lot. I did spot them, but Lord no, I can't just pinpoint them immediately. But it'd be cool to have some more of those. But so Spain, and this is I'm still sort of putting the fire out on Spain because I was taking advantage of the fact that there aren't many R countries and making Spain spill out into the R section just above it. Yeah, I mean, all the other stuff has been pushed up here, like, because South Africa, I've got a lot of South Africa as well, but you've got like Slovakia, Sri Lanka, and I believe that say Charles, is that? Please, I don't know. Soviet Union, even the Soviet Union is being bullied by the Spanish. I mean, this Inquisition couldn't get any more tense. Actually, that reminds me. Speaking of ones I can't pronounce, I came across. This is really bad. I came across Mauritius the other day, and it dawned on me. If I can find it, there it is. Mauritius. There it is. It dawned on me I had never seen Mauritius spelled before. And that's such a weird thing to think about. I was like, I have never seen... I took one look at it and I was like, Mauritius? Mauritius. And I was like, I've found a new country. I, Giles Hellier, have discovered a new country. No, I looked it up and I was like, it's some kind of lovely place. And I clicked on Google, and you can. I typed it into Google and typed in pronunciation. The second it was like Mauritius, I was just like, oh. It's the funny the things you overlook, isn't it? It's like when Marge says, "Run like the wind." She's only seen it written before. So. Yes, you see there that we've got these. They're you can tell that's when there is way too much of something, which is when it's not even in a bag. Like the bag is just there because the bag has the name with it, and it'll be a holding place. And once it's too big for its boots, it gets evicted. I mean, like I said, like I've sorted this out today, but Spain was dominating, like, 2 rows by itself, and so I had to bring in the tubs. 25 potatoes. Yes, I know it's potatoes. Let me explain this one to you, and I do apologise if this is one of those stories that you will hear me repeat over and over again. This is the debut, though. I've not said it before, but this goes around in my head every time I pass 25 potatoes. So, here in the UK, we have a show called Only Fools and Horses. There was an episode where they go to Spain, and they win a contest that entitles them to 1 million pesetas. I'd not heard pesetas before. The chap was saying the word very calmly. And I just kept mishearing it as potatoes. And so that's literally like, in my mind, I was like, Spain, that used to just go around and just be like, all right, you're going to sell me that? All right, that'll be 5 potatoes. Come on. That's my strange joke, and that is how I amuse myself as I'm going through all of this. So, they get moved to the tubs. This is a coin that I had a lot of. I don't know how to pronounce anything right now. I'm going to say dirham. Dirham. Or dirham. 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 Focus, please. Dirham. Maybe. I don't know. Got a lot of them, though. And the object is that once they've earned their own little tub, they will get moved to a book. Now, I've shown you this already. This is one little book. But it's these kind of pockets. I've chosen against using these particular books. Financially, it's not clever for the amount of coins that I want to collect and document. So instead, I'll be using larger A4 pages like this that fit in ring binders. And that way is like one of the problems I had with this when I was there's a one I've got that's got new pennies in it, and you know, if you run out of pages, or if you the chronology of the coin, and there's more pages, you've got these empty pages, and you're like, well, what do I do? Do I make coins double up in the same book? You know, and that's well and good if it's a coin that was ran for a limited period, but I don't know. It would just be a lot easier if I can go, right, that's the end of that coin's chronology. That's all the pages we need, and then we can use the remaining pages to go to another book, and so on and so forth. But these tubs have proved really useful, helping me, because like I said, if you look at the amount of coins that are in here, they were all in, you know, these slots, especially this one, which as you can see is already overcrowded, and the majority of those ones that are in the tubs were all moved from this one because they were Spanish. There was also a Belgian problem because Belgium was getting too fat. One would assume it's all that chocolate. But yes, once the book is like the promised land for the coin, and when as the book gets built and the whole chronology is documented, obviously as I get more mixed world coins, I'm going to be able to identify these coins quicker and quicker. And I think as the book is filled up or completed, I'm probably going to have a better eye for quality in terms of, because, you know, sometimes, yeah, I might document everything, but one of them might be a shite coin, you know, in bad condition. So I'll probably just sort of, if I get a coin of a completed book, I'll probably have a look at it, and if it looks particularly snazzy, I'll compare it to the one that I've already got. Otherwise, I think they might be re-eBayed, as it were, go back into the ether. Yes. Oh, that was it. I was gonna I saw one of my viewers, I think it was Ed, wasn't it? Netherlands. We're gonna have a quick look at the Netherlands. You can see why I organised it in the order I did now. You can see I've been hard at work. 1 ruble. I looked this up before I realised I was out of labels to put on the bags. It's always a little bit intimidating when you see the hammer and sickle looking back at you. That reminds me, actually, I got another Nazi coin. Nazi money. I thought we'll lure the Nazis into a plan. And we'll put all the money in a bag above a pit. So, what have we got? We have 2 euro cents. Euro. 5 golden. Beatrix. It's not made of real gold. 1 cent. I believe, obviously, this is. I'm going to assume this was. I mean, This is why I like. It sounds weird. For what I don't know, this is why I like it, because I sort of look at this and I've written down the errors as they come in. This one's German occupation. You know, this is during the 40s. So as I write down, we're talking about, you know, these are all coins from the Netherlands, but they've all got a completely different error to them. And that's the thing I'm looking forward to, you know, learning more about as I document the coins. You know, say I've got this coin and I'm going to complete this coin, then I'm going to work out, you know, how long it was going. Did it stop because Juliana stopped? Whoever Juliana is? Or, you know, like it's that sort of... We've got some more Juliana here. 5 cents. Gulden. 1 gulden. I think that's it. New Zealand, Norway. Norway. It's all Norway, isn't it? Yeah, all Norway. But yeah, that's what I've got from the Netherlands. Still no Netherlands euros, but I mean they're still like legal tender and current currency, you know. It'd be like if I made a collection of pound coins. I do hope to be wealthy enough to have a collection of pound coins and, you know, not worry about needing to siphon off my coin collection to pay my electric bills, but you never know what the future holds. But yes, that is the state of my coin collection and where everything is going. So as these build up, their goal is to go into a little book, but if they get too big for their boots, they get tubbed. I know, like, it's not the safest way to contain a coin. All I can say is that they go into the tub. I'm going to try my best not to rattle them around too much, but really, you know, it's time, it's space, it's money that all depends. I mean, money, not coins, money. That depends on how safe these things are kept. And I can just do the best I can with what I can afford, quite frankly. These little tubs were only, they were really good price, actually. They were £2. I mean, if you look at these, £2 for 4 of those. These were all £4. These 4 squarish tubs, they were all £2 for all 4 of them. These were £1.50 for 3. So that's really good. These were a little bit more expensive. I think they were about £13-14 for 2. I don't know what that cost. That cost money. But yes, I don't know how big this treasury is going to get, but I can only assume it will get fucking giant. But every step along the way, I'm trying to find, you know, I'll be constantly looking for better and safer ways to hold the coins, present the coins, so that they can all be stored and consulted easily. You know, like going through things alphabetically, it's not always easy to arrange alphabetically, and it's simply the case of so many of these are squeezed in there, or, you know, not necessarily squeezed, but it's a bit of a Tetris game, getting them all in there safely, so I can't always just move them around really quickly to make sure everything's in order. You know, you just got to be happy with what you can get, and that's why I've just, you know, I mean, it does unnerve me a little bit. Like, I think my concern is, say, like, I'm like, oh, South Africa's getting huge, I'll move South Africa to its own box or whatever. My concern is that when I'm going for all the South Africa stuff, I'll like miss one out that's like over here or something, you know. In a perfect world they would all be together, but it's not always possible like that, you know, especially where sometimes I'm literally putting coins on top of other coins from other places just to help weigh it all down. you know. Anyway, good Lord, I hope this video wasn't too boring, but you better get used to it. Anyway, take care of yourselves, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon. See you later.